today's your day. Alright, so we have Sam's GoPro, so this isn't going to be like a frequent thing, but we're gonna do it, alright? Because we are going to do a collaboration on our channel to kind of just kickstart our relationship together and just kind of like get you guys used to her on my channel. So we're gonna start off with a driving vlog. So today we're going to go to Disneyland and we are going to use her GoPro and, you know, talk about topics that I know you guys have been wanting to talk about. And yeah, so again, this isn't gonna be a normal thing, just for today. Okay, so one of the topics that they talked about, like, in my comments is that they were like, when you were younger, like, what were your thoughts about driving?
That's one of the topics?
Yeah, so like basically, yeah, they're all car related stuff, but not like car, like your experiences and like, yeah.
My experience? I definitely wanted to like drive.
I remember when I was younger, like my parents kept putting it off and they were like, oh, like you're only like 15. And then, but like the permanent age was like 15 and a half, but then they kept also like lying to me and they were like, oh, like it's not 15 and a half anymore, it's 16. And I was like, all right, let's just wait half a year.
Yeah.
And like my friend got her permit at like 15 and a half, like exactly. And she was Asian too, by the way.
Yeah.
Like this is very important. All my white friends, of course, already had their permits, but I was just like, oh, like it was just, you know, my Asian parents being paranoid. But like, no. So she got her permit at a really young age, and in sophomore year, she had like done her permit thing and the whole licensing by the time we had finished our sophomore year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because like, I think for me, like I really wanted to do it, so I finished like taking the classes and everything. And then when I didn't pass my permit, like the written permit test the first time. Because I took it so long ago, when I like went in and took it, I didn't remember anything.
Wow.
And so like, because it was like over a month when I actually went in to go do the actual written like physical test. And so I forgot it, and then I held it off because I like completely was like, oh, I don't need it right now, so I held it off. I think I finally got my permit at 16, and then by the time I was licensed, I was 17. So it didn't really matter for me.
I just realized that I remembered that when we were all taking the permit test, me and Steven had a competition, because we always have competitions. Like when we were taking the written test, we were like, whoever can get the least amount right. And then when we were taking the driving test, we were like, whoever gets the most points.
The most points? You want the least amount of points?
No. Like you want to retain the most amount of points.
Okay.
Not like get the most points off. Oh my god. But I remember that like I got a perfect score after he had already taken his test, so like there was no turning back.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I got like 2 off, beat that. And I was like, okay, shit. And I was like really worried. And then, but like admittedly I kind of like cheated a little bit because I forgot my hand signals, which the driving instructor let me redo it. So, but like she didn't mark that off as a point.
Yeah.
So like it was not really cheating, but it was also cheating at the same time.
He's gonna see this and be like, I knew it.
Holy shit! Oh, the bass in my car scared the crap what do you look for in a car, just in general?
I mean, I think for me, like my car, because it was a hand-me-down car, and I'm not probably gonna get my first like new car until, I don't know, after I start working for like a couple months. But I'm not really sure what I would look for in a car. I guess obviously maybe as a girl it would be like the look of the car, like the style and like the way it's designed.
Well, see, the thing is, like, for me, is like, you know that I look for, you know, the design,
Yeah.
the look, because, you know, I'm like super into cars.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like also something that's like really important, and that's kind of like what our next topic is gonna be, is that like after getting into an accident, like I'm really specific about safety.
Yeah.
And like, you know, a lot of cars nowadays come standard with like, you know, like all this top of the line stuff, you know, with all these like doohickeys where you have like blind spot monitors, backup cameras, and sensors.
Okay, it isn't just me. There is like this thing that won't let your like my drink go all the way down, so it's tilting.
Yeah, I think it's your koozie. But like, when you have your car that's like a hand-me-down, you don't exactly get to pick, you know, your safety features. But like, you've always felt like confident and safe in your car, though, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's like really important, especially as a new time driver, or like a brand new driver.
Yeah.
Because like, I was an experienced driver when I got into my car accident. I think I've been driving for like 5 or 6 years, and you know, it's one of those things that like when you're a new driver, you really don't know how to brake, and like I freaked out still, and I know how to brake well. I brake well in advance. Like even right now, like my eyes are focused like on the road. I'm not even looking at the camera. Like maybe like a quick glance. But you know, and like you just need to always be prepared at all times, and it's just one of those things that like when my dad gave me the option to get a new car, that was like the first thing. It's like, okay, how safe is it? Because I got in an accident, and then he ended up getting me, you know, basically the exact same car that I had, so that way he knew for safety purposes that I would be like perfect with it. Like I would know how the car works and know how it handles and all that stuff. It was just kind of like brainless to me too, because when I got the car that I had a similar car that I was in the accident with, you know, I was already an adapted driver, because in my opinion, driving a BMW made me a much better driver. Like there are like no dents or anything like that, because like I'm so careful, because I know it's such a nice and expensive car. And like with my Hyundai, I was always like really scared, because like I don't know about you with like your older one, but like I felt like I was barely driving it. I felt like it was more driving me, and I really hated that fact. And not to mention, I just felt really unsafe in it, because I couldn't accelerate properly on the freeway. Like it had like almost zero acceleration. I would be flooring it, and it would go like 55, 56. And I was like, I need to like match the speed of everybody else on the freeway. This is not safe. Because also, like what a lot of people don't talk about is that it's not only unsafe for you to drive fast, it's also unsafe for you to drive extremely slow, because everybody else behind you has to brake. And see, that's kind of like how I got in my accident, is like I didn't have enough time to anticipate of like braking, because
Nothing like I've ever known before. Love is an open door. Love is an open door. I missed it. Love is an open door. With you, with you, with you, with you. Love is an open door. I kind of want to watch this like in downtown. They're like the window. The window is open, so's that door.